Yo, what's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel, Built by Grace. I'm Jay Sean. For those of you who don't know me, today is November the 11th, I think it is, on Monday, and just giving you guys a quick update of my day so far. I didn't record this morning. Got caught up with stuff at home, helping out with the wife and kids before I left for work, so I didn't even think about grabbing my phone and recording. But quick update, I'm on my lunch break right now, so ate my lunch, had some pasta salad is what my wife made. So we had some leftover pasta salad, and I had two little Nutri-Grain bars, ate those as well, drank some water. So getting some reading in, and once I get my reading done, I'm gonna call my wife and kids, check on them, see how their day has been, and then head back in and wrap up my day. But I'm reading the book, The Grain Power Principle by Gary Keesee. And there's something in this book that I wanted to discuss with you guys real quick. And it is, what was Joseph's secret for success here? First, he discerned the situation. Then he solved the problem by developing a plan. And then he developed a way to administrate the plan. So what this is pertaining to is Pharaoh's dream of the 7 years of plenty and then the 7 years of famine, where Joseph was in prison. And he was called up and asked to discern the dream that Pharaoh had, and he told him about the dream and what it meant. But here's something that I think we all can take and apply is Joseph not only solved or seen the problem, he went to Pharaoh and he told him what his problem was. Then he solved the problem. And then not only did he solve the problem, he developed a plan to administrate, or a plan to walk that the solution out that he had for Pharaoh. And I think that's something that we all can take and apply. How easy is it to maybe go to our boss or whatever, or whoever, whatever the situation may be. But for this situation, I'm just going to use a job. But how easy is it that we can go to our boss and complain about, hey, X, Y, and Z, we have this problem here. And that's all we do is complain. But we want promotion, we want to move up, we want to make more money. And I think something that we can pull from Joseph's story here is, instead of just going to our boss with a complaint, go to him with the complaint. Of course, let him know what the problem is, let him know of a solution that you may have, and then let him know the plan that you have to walk that solution out. And then after that, you should say something along the lines of, hey, I think you should put someone in charge, or hey, I'd be willing to be in charge of walking this plan out and administrating this plan and helping the company prosper. Because we all know, when the company prospers, or we should know that when we help the company prosper, they in turn are willing, most of the time, are willing to bless us and to help us prosper as well, by fattening our paychecks, giving us raises or bonuses or whatever the case may be. So that's just something I just thought about sharing with you guys. And I'll see you guys, I guess, a little bit later on after I get off work today. Over and out. What's up, guys? Just getting off work. After 5, heading to the house. Well, I got to run to the store. I got a few things I got to do before I get home. But question that I've been thinking about today, how did I steward well today, or how am I going to steward well for the rest of the day, the remainder of my day? My 5 to 9 or 5 to 10. When it comes to business, my wife and kids, or am I going to get home and scroll social media, or am I going to get home and be productive? Be productive with my time. Making sure I spend time with my wife and kids. They haven't seen me for 8 hours. Besides when I called them earlier on my lunch break, but they haven't seen me for 8 hours. Am I going to go home and love on them, or am I going to go home and push them to the side and just sit around and lounge around and do nothing? What I am going to do is, set the example, is go home and eat dinner and love on the wife and kids and the dog and spend time with them. And then, gotta lock in after everybody gets into bed and stuff like that, get the kids down. It's gonna be God and I God and I's time. Going to do some analysis on the business, see where the business is at, see where I can improve that. I got a few ideas I'm going to work on tonight. Comes to different things, how I want the company to run. And then, obviously praying and seeking God about how He wants things to be done as well. Because obviously, like I mentioned earlier in one of my other videos, that it's God and I building this business. It's not just Jay Sean. I'm building something for the kingdom, so I have to go to the King himself and get downloads and get strategies and get the guidance I need to be able to do what needs to be done to build this business for God. And it's something that I'm, telling myself and reminding myself, this isn't my business. On paper it may say that Jay Sean is the owner. Jay Sean and his wife are the owners, but I'm just the steward. We're just stewards of this business that God has entrusted with us. And obviously, we want to make sure that we steward this business well, because that's how you get more responsibility. That's how God can trust you with more. Steward well what He's blessed you with and what He's given you now. So that's where I'm at right now. Get in the comments, let me know what you guys are planning on doing tonight, or how you guys are planning on stewarding what God has blessed you with. And not only stewarding, but stewarding it with excellence. Doing everything to the best of your abilities and even more, So, yep, that's where I'm at. Got 2 stops to make before I get home, and we'll go from there. It's getting cold here. It's gonna be a cold night tonight, 31 degrees. What I think I seen online anywhere on the Weather Channel. It's gonna be 31 degrees tonight, so it's gonna be a cold night tonight. I'm not a big fan of the winter time. I don't think here in North Carolina we don't have much fall. I think we're going straight to winter time. We had a hot summer, so I think we're gonna have a cold winter this year. So yeah, it's getting cold now. But excellence. Excellence is the name of the game, is what I'm learning. I've been studying the life of Joseph, and that's just one of the things that I've noticed with how he prospered, how he was promoted in everything that he was doing, because he operated with a spirit of excellence everywhere he was. The Bible talks about that Potiphar seen God on Joseph, and Pharaoh seen God on Joseph. And I believe the way that he seen God, they seen God on and in Joseph was how he carried himself, how he did everything with the spirit of excellence. The small menial tasks that he did on a day-to-day basis, whether it was cleaning toilets or taking care of the prison or whatever it was, picking up trash. And we don't know, the Bible doesn't go into detail about what he did, but we know everything that he did with a spirit of excellence. And God could trust him. God saw that he could trust him, so he promoted him to second in command in all of Egypt. Went from a slave to second in command, basically running Egypt. He didn't have to answer to anyone but Pharaoh, and then obviously God as well. But how does that happen? By operating in the spirit of excellence, not whining and complaining when maybe our boss asks us to do something, or when we get home and maybe our husbands and wives ask us to do something. I've been at work all day, I don't want to do that. No, it's okay, I'll get it done whether we want to do it or not. And not only doing it with the spirit of excellence, doing it to the best of our ability, but I believe the spirit of excellence is not only just the work, but the attitude and how we show up and do the work as well. So anyway, I pick you guys up, I guess, after I get out the store or when I get home, and we can go from there. here's how we wrapped up the night. Watched the movie as a family. IAG Farms on YouTube. Ate popcorn. Also, finished up a sermon by Bill Winston that I was watching. Read my word. Did some journaling. Finished up the book Grain Pile Principle by Gary Keesee. And also took a little time to get some downloads from God for the business. And that's pretty much it. So over and out. Thanks for watching. See y'all on the next one.